Raise this up. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Glad to be back doing some live stuff. If you missed me and you're watching replay, you can go to my website and look at my events page, and you can figure out when I'm going to be live next. So even if you did miss me, you guys, what I like to do with these live readings is at the beginning, I like to give messages for the group and give you guys information kind of at the start of this so that if you're rewatching, there's still some value for you. And even if you missed me, you know, I can give readings to those that are not presently watching. You could be watching later on, but I set the intention that whoever watches this, whenever they watch it, that message will be relevant for them. So tonight we are going to be doing a night of hope because that's what I need right now. And I have a feeling with the election coming up, a lot of you guys are in the same boat. So kind of what brought this about was that I just feel like this year sucks, and I'm sure a lot of you have been feeling the exact same way. I feel like so far this year I've been hanging in there and I've been pretty positive, but recently it just all kind of hit me. And so, you know, when I go through moments of stress or depression or any of that, I like to turn towards my guides and use my psychic ability to sort of work through it. And so this is sort of going to be a night of a bunch of tools that I'm giving you guys if you're feeling sort of the weight of everything right now. And so I hope you stick around and take advantage of some of it. But yeah, I think this year, besides the virus and everything, you know, my company has lost a lot of work because I'm in filmmaking and you have to be very much in person to be able to film. And, you know, there's a lot of people just not spending as much money on marketing and stuff like that. But I think, you know, with, again, the elections happening tomorrow, I figured we should do this tonight because I want you guys to feel that no matter what happens tomorrow, you know, there's hope, there's a feeling of control over your life. And I think right now we're just sort of not feeling that. So I'm just looking at my notes. I want to make sure I'm giving out so much information tonight. I want to make sure that I cover it all. But yeah, I think with the election coming up tomorrow, the biggest message that I've been getting from my guides is that either way, no matter what happens, if the person you are hoping will win does not, you know, don't put all of your cards in that basket. You know, your life is not revolving around this one decision. You have ultimate control over your life and your emotions. And you know, if we set the intention that our whole life revolves around this situation and, you know, the outcomes of it, then we're really getting ourselves into a place of victim mentality. And, you know, if we say that I'm not going to be happy if this person wins, then you're telling yourself that, you know, all of these outward external things can control you and your happiness. And I just want us to get out of that intention setting mode. And I think right now, my husband and I talked about this last weekend, but there's sort of this group intention happening right now in our world. And I like to think of group intention as, you know, what is everyone thinking and feeling? And when the whole world is sort of thinking and feeling the same things, it sort of amplifies. And I believe in the law of attraction that, you know, the things that you think about, you attract more of. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, you're going to attract negative things. If you're constantly thinking positive things, you're going to attract positive things. And, you know, think about this on a global scale. When the whole world is going through a pandemic and the whole world is doom and gloom, you know, we are sort of attracting it. And that's why we're getting into this snowball of like horrible elections, horrible pandemics, horrible global warming, you know, all of this stuff just seems to have like attacked us this year, and just it keeps compounding and it's just ridiculous. And so I think that group intention, just having an awareness of it is oh, and I should say we're going to do group readings after I sort of give this reading. So yeah, stick around. And you can definitely ask questions later. what was I going to say? But yeah, just being aware of the group intention is enough to at least start reversing that effect on yourself. So when you realize that everyone is sort of feeding into this doom and gloom, you can set up your boundaries, separate from this, energy, and decide, no, I'm going to focus on positivity. I'm going to focus on hope. I'm going to focus on faith. And that's what tonight is all about. Cool. So one of the big things that I wanted to share was that everything in life is neutral. It's how we respond that is either positive or negative. And this is one of the biggest things I've learned through doing this work. There's a lot of people that come to me for readings, and they can be very doom and gloom, and they can be very victim mentality of like, oh my gosh, all these things are happening to me. I have no control. And they just kind of whine and whine and whine. And I really think that those people end up attracting more and more negativity. It just seems like everything bad that could happen to that person happens. And it just keeps happening. And, trying to get those people to understand, you really got to think about how you're saying your life is like. What message are you putting out about you and your life in this moment? And when you're constantly putting out all that negativity, it's so much harder to attract positive things. Yes, they are accepting it subconsciously. I mean, it's the law of attraction. What you think about, your thoughts create your reality. Sorry. And so when you think about that, I like to use this example. When I sort of was learning this lesson of everything in life is neutral, I think that I had several friends who were wanting to move but couldn't move. They didn't like their current living situation, but they were constantly being like, oh my gosh, I have no money. I can't move because of my job. I can't be happy until I have this bigger house. I'm living with these roommates and everything's awful. And they were just sort of compounding the negativity of their situation because they could only focus on the negative. And so, if they chosen instead to react positively to this situation instead of negatively, how would that have changed their perception on it? Maybe, I'm not saying it's going to make it better and all of a sudden their roommates are going to disappear, but it's crazy because you'll start to be able to handle it a lot better because you're not constantly focused on the negative. And when you're focused on the positive and what you do want instead of what you don't want, then suddenly you start attracting those things that you do want. And so what I found was the people, these few friends and family members, the ones who just continued to stay focused on the negative, on the fact of like, I have this lack, I don't have enough, I can't move out because of XYZ. They continued to stay there for a few years. But then my friends who really like didn't have any money, really, when you looked at it on the outside, there was no way of them getting out of their situation. They chose to focus on the positive. And then it was crazy. It was like things started to fall into place. Like their neighbor moved and they were able to move out, or, something just shifted and they were able to afford something else. They were able to sell, and then they were able to find a new house. And so I think that, again, just looking at, everything that's going on in the world right now, both with the pandemic and, with the elections tomorrow, choose to focus on the positive and know that, if you respond negatively, the only thing that's doing is hurting yourself. It's hurting your flow of abundance. And so if you're choosing to respond positively, or at least neutrally to situations, you're going to attract what you want a lot easier. I hope this makes sense. I feel like I'm sort of describing big, vague terms. But I think I'm going to get off my high horse about that. So the solution to all of this, I think when we're stressed out about what's going on in the world, obviously is to focus on our abundance. And I'm always tooting my horn about this. Focus on the things that you have, the things that are working for you. And so I want to give you guys this mantra. And this mantra I got from my life coach. It's not quite a mantra, but sort of is like intention set mantra. I don't know. It's a little bit of both. But asking yourself in these moments of stress, what is this doing for me rather than to me? So, for example, when the whole pandemic hit, if you're asking yourself, how is this good? Where is the good in this situation versus, how is this situation being awful to me? Then you're able to stop and say, well, okay, I guess the pandemic helped me realize that I needed to be at home more with my pets, and it gave me lots of good quality time with my pets. I don't know. Hello everyone, welcome. And what was I gonna say? So if you use the mantra, what is this doing for me rather than to me? Again, you're switching out of the victim mentality. So as we go into the elections tomorrow, I highly encourage you guys to go with this attitude. Go with the intention that, no matter what happens, no matter who wins, that you're going to be okay and you're going to respond positively. And if it's not the outcome you want, because that happens all the time in life, instead of just digging yourself a hole and just, being in this hole of like nothing's happening, nothing's working, you're asking yourself, what can this do for me? And how is this a positive? And so, in past elections when I didn't like the outcome and all my friends were like, oh my God, we're all going to die. The world's going to shit, stuff like that. I think that I chose to ask myself these questions of what is this doing for me? And I chose to view it as, well, maybe the reason why this president is with us is because we needed to address some of these things that we were ignoring before. And, even though he wasn't my choice, maybe he's bringing up things into the light that we were ignoring before. And now, people that wouldn't have voted or wouldn't have spoken up before are now going to do that. So again, going into tomorrow, I hope you guys can sort of keep this lesson in the back of your minds. Know that no matter what happens, you guys are in control of your own thoughts. And at the end of the day, you control your thoughts and therefore your reality, is my point. And if you continue to believe that everything else has control over your reality and all these external things determine if your life is happy or not, then I really invite you guys to take a step back and ask yourself if that's really true. I don't want you guys to be in victim mentalities. Being in victim mentalities just snowballs and it creates a very unhappy life. And I feel, in summation, that is what is going on right now with the whole world. And that's kind of this group intention. We're kind of all throwing out this negativity and this depression, and it's snowballing on each other. And that's why all these things just keep happening. So yeah, I think that is one of the solutions to sort of feel like you're more hopeful, feel like you are trusting in that faith a little bit more, whatever your faith may be. And again, positive mindset is obviously number one. And so use that mantra, what is this doing for me rather than to me? That's a great mantra to use in any situation. For example, if you fail a test, if you don't get into a certain relationship, you can ask that, what is this doing for me rather than to me? So another solution is you can write out all those bad intentions and then flip them on their head. So feel free in the comments right now, if you guys have any stresses, anything that's like bothering you, feel free to throw it up, because we want to change those and turn them on their head. So for example, I could say, I am so stressed out about money. And what you want to do, take a step back. When you're feeling stressed, go ahead and get out a piece of paper, write down everything that's going wrong. And I know I just said not to focus on that, but instead of focusing on it over and over again, what we can do is we can set an intention that's the opposite, so that we're focusing on the positive. So, take out a piece of paper, write out all the things that you're stressed out about. If you guys are stressed out about anything right now, throw it up in the comments so that I can use it as an example. So, you can write out, I am so stressed out about money right now. Maybe that's one of the things that you're really just unnerved about. And then what you do is write out all those stresses, and then draw a line on the other side of those stresses. And then you want to put a positive intention next to those. So flip those on their head. So instead of saying, I am so stressed out about money, you can say, I have control over my finances. And, that's true, and that is not a negative thing, and that is an intention that is positive. Is talking about or sorry, it's in present tense, and that's what's most important. I'm trying to think of other like negative thoughts that we may have at any point. Like, I hate the house that I'm living in. Instead of saying that, you can say, I am so excited to move into my new home. You might not have a new home yet, but the intention is there. And so then every time that you're catching yourself saying these negative things like, oh, I'm so stressed out about money, or oh, I hate this house that I'm living in, you can flip that on its head and say, I'm so excited about moving into my new house. I have so much control over my money and my finances. And, this is kind of going back to what I was saying before about these positive mindsets. And if you're, changing those negative thoughts, and if you're challenging your brain to focus on the positive intentions every time you say that to yourself, you're going to start manifesting what you want so much easier. I don't think anyone else is sharing any stresses that they're having right now, but feel free to throw them up, and I will help you guys set intentions the opposite way. Let's see. Okay, and so the last solution that I have is to do a meditation, because I'm all about meditation. And so I'm going to turn this meditation into an actual video and throw it up on my channel. But for tonight, I'm sort of like exploring what I want it to be with you guys. And so I'm going to lead you guys through a quick meditation, and then we're going to do readings. So this is kind of like my last little bit of information on how to sort of feel hopeful, how to get through those moments where you're just like, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what's coming next. I don't even know how or what. I know I want peace, or I know I want out of this situation, whatever that may be. So kind of how I'm going to do this meditation, I'm going to do it quickly because I don't want you guys to lose interest. And then we'll get into doing some readings for you guys. But the point of this reading, I'm calling this the guiding light meditation. And so I like to think of this as, your compass, your intention. You might not know how you're going to get there or what it's going to look like, but you want something, and that's your guiding light. And so I'm going to have you guys go to this happy place, and then we're going to invite in a guide to sort of talk to us. Hello. And after we invite that guide in, we're going to say, this is what I want. This is what I want right now. I want peace. I need calmness. I'm trying to think of other examples. Throw it up in the comments. What do you guys need right now? We're going to do questions right after this, Anastasia, but feel free, I know I'm putting off your questions until after this, but the things that you're stressed out about right now that you probably are going to ask questions about, put it up in the comments. What are you stressed out about? What do you need right now? Maybe it's peace. Maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you need a new house. I know I keep using this example. Maybe you need connection with somebody. Maybe you're really feeling lonely, and you don't know how you're going to find friends or family, but you're just feeling lonely and you need companionship. Maybe that's, your intention. And so when we get to that point in the meditation, I want you to sort of know in the back of your mind what you're going to ask for. And so, yeah, I'm going to lead you through this meditation. And again, the point of this meditation is to ask for something, even though you don't know how or when or what it's going to look like. And I love to use this because sometimes in our lives, we just feel so lost and we don't know how to move forward. And it's kind of like you feel like you have to have all the answers, and you feel like you have to know all the next steps, but you really don't need to know the next steps. You can simply ask, I'm here. I want to get to here. I don't know what that looks like, but please help me. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this meditation. This is going to be like an abbreviated version of this meditation because I sort of want your guys' feedback. And I want to know what you guys think. And then I'm going to do an actual recorded longer one, so then you guys can come back to it at any time. Alrighty, and so even if not all of you watching live are going to participate, hopefully those watching replay will find some value in this. And feel free to watch it on replay again if you found it was helpful. And so after we do this quick meditation, guys, we will do some live readings. So let's get into it. I took notes on how I think I want to do this, so that's why I'm looking down here. Okay. Go ahead and get comfortable, set your phone or whatever you're watching me on to a nice volume and get in a space where you feel comfortable. Hopefully not in a space that you're going to fall asleep because we want this to be productive. So get comfortable. Don't feel like you have to watch me. I'm just going to be reading my notes. And what I want to have us do is start by just taking 3 big, deep breaths in. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Do that 2 more times. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And one last time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And in your mind's eye, I want you to go to a happy place. Somewhere in your mind that just feels comfortable. Maybe it's a beach. Maybe it's a garden. Maybe it's your home. Maybe it's somewhere you've been to before. Maybe it's by a campfire. Maybe it's somewhere you've never been before. But find that happy place. And there's nothing wrong. There's no wrong way of looking at this. It doesn't have to be your perfect happy place. Just a place where you feel content. And I want you guys to sit in this space for a bit and look around. Notice where you're sitting or where you're standing. Notice the temperature of the room. Are there any objects in the room or in the space that you're in? You can look at yourself and what you're wearing. You feel free to interact with the space. You can walk around, you can touch things. We really just want to get very present in this space, in this happy place. And once you're done exploring, I want you to find a place to sit or a place to stand in the room. And what's happening is as you're sitting or as you're getting comfortable, you're sort of seeing a door appearing in front of you. Imagine what this door looks like. Imagine what this door feels like. If it has a color, maybe its shape or its size. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. And we're looking at this door and we're setting the intention that on the other side of this door is a guide for us, a spiritual guide that's going to help us. And as soon as you open that door, whenever you feel ready, go ahead and open that door and meet the spiritual guide that's on the other side. It might take a while for you to see them or feel them. But know that they're there. And invite this guide into your space, into this happy place. This guide is for your highest and best good. They're here to help you with your guiding light meditation. Now this guide is standing in front of you or sitting in front of you. And what I want you to do now is ask your guide for what you need. Maybe this is peace that you need right now. Maybe you need hope. Maybe it's companionship. I want you to say this to yourself. I know I might not know how to get there or when I'm going to get there, but I trust that you can guide me. Feel free to send them that intention one more time. Tell that guide, what do you want? I want hope, I want peace, I want companionship, I want to get out of this house, I want to make more money, I want to have a better relationship. Whatever that intention is, imagine it as if you're holding it. Put that intention into a form and feel the form of that intention. What is that? Is it a square? Is it a box? Is it just light? And what I want you to do is visualize passing that off to the spirit guide. They are fully in control of this situation. And by you passing this intention to them, you are setting the intention that you release it. I know I might not know how to get there. I know that I might not know when I'm going to get there, but I trust that you're going to help guide me there. And so release this stress. Your guide has heard you. Your guide has heard you. They have your intention. They know what you need. They know what you want. So don't stress out any more about it. And tell this guide, I am open to receive signs and messages in order to get what I need. And so now I want you to visualize this guide. What they're going to do is they're going to stand up. Maybe they're already standing, and they're going to walk back through that door. And I want you to follow them through that door. Now there's nothing on the other side of this door. It might be sort of dark. But what you can see on the other side of this door is a light. Maybe it's a candle, maybe it's a bright light. It's really far in front of you. And this guide is leading you there. He's walking, or this guide might be walking next to you or behind you or in front of you. Maybe they're flying above you. But this guide is taking you towards that light. That light is your intention. This is what you want. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's hope. Maybe it's a new house, a new car. As long as you know that this light represents that intention and you know that this guide is leading you there, trust. Trust and allow this to happen. I open and I receive messages. I open and I receive signs. And you're just going to continue to walk towards this light, finding comfort that this guide is taking you there. And you might not know when, and you might not know how, but this guide is helping you get to this goal. Now, for the sake of being on YouTube, if you want to continue this meditation, go ahead and press pause and just continue to follow this guide. You can do this as long as you want. Honestly, I would do it right before bed and just fall asleep. But if you're wanting to come back to YouTube, what I want you guys to do is thank this guide. You don't even have to leave this room. This guide is always here guiding you. And you can come back to this moment. You can come back to this light and follow that guide. And know that the more often you do this, the more often you're going to see signs and messages, because you're open to the fact that this guide is here helping you try to get to this place. And the more you release the how and the what and the when, the more open you will, or sorry, the more able you'll be able to see those signs and messages. So if you're coming back to YouTube, we can say thanks to that guide. We know you're there. We're going to come back. We're going to hang out. But for now, coming back to YouTube, let's hang out. I hope that meditation was helpful. Sorry for all of you that joined in the middle of it. I didn't want to interrupt. We're basically just doing a little meditation. I was honestly just making it up as I went. I've done this before because actually Archangel Michael came to me one time, and I was like, I think I was having like a really tough time in my relationship, and I was just like, I know I want to be happier in my relationship. I know I need this, but I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't have the tools. I don't have the patience. I don't know how to do any of it. And so Michael just sort of was like, I'm going to do this with you. Follow along. And so I sort of learned this meditation from him, and I wanted to share it. And so again, I'm going to make it a more concise version, and I'm going to like put music to it and actually make it like a meditation on my channel that you can come back to. But I wanted to practice it with you guys. If any of you guys did it, let me know in the comments below, like what was great, what you liked, what you didn't like. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, that was again a meditation for hope. If you feel like you don't know what to do, you don't know how it's going to happen, where or when, or how any of it is going to happen, I think we have to remember that we don't need to know. As long as we have the intention set, as long as we set that compass north, we can ask for help. We can ask for help, and as long as we're open to signs and we're not, narrow-minded on how it has to happen, we're going to have our guides there. They're going to show us the way. And so I absolutely love doing this because it's great to just get yourself out of the way and to just fully and completely trust spirit. And that's hard. That's really hard even for me today to do. But yeah, if you guys are just joining me, I sort of did this kind of group chat about the energy right now and the group intention. And I really just think that, going into elections, going into, holy cow, the end of this year already, it's so important to have a positive mindset, focus on abundance, focus on the mantra, what is this doing for me rather than to me, using that guiding light meditation at any time that you need it. And I think all of those things are sort of my go-to when I'm just feeling hopeless. And so, yeah, I think that's it. So let's get into readings, you guys. Man, actually, I want to save this because I'm gonna make this into a longer video. Go beans. Sweet. So how I do my readings, you guys, is I do sort of fun little games where you have to guess what I'm thinking. I'm going to make you guys practice your psychic muscle. And when you practice your psychic muscle, you end up connecting with me, maybe getting the answer or maybe getting something close to. And I set the intention that whoever needs the reading most will get the reading. And that way there's no like order. There's no like list that you got to wait through. It's random. Some nights, though, I do speed readings and just try to get to everybody. But I think tonight I'm going to just pick 2 readings because I ended up getting here really late. And then I'm going to do a group reading at the end. So, yes, let me think. So I need to think of a category. Oh, okay. So I am thinking of a mythical creature. If you can guess the mythical creature that I'm thinking of, throw it in the comments. Then you get the reading. And tonight I have pulled out Bigfoot. JS, you got it. Dragon. Bam. So, or Ja S. Let me know in the comments what your question is. I might do more than 2. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I've got a glass of wine here. But tonight I'm using the Archangel Power Tarot cards, and the great thing about this deck is that what I love about this deck is that it's just like super ridiculously high vibe. Like, I pull it out when I'm just feeling so hopeless and I need a stupid cheesy pep talk. Maybe I'll go ahead and link that. I'll link that deck in the comments below. Will S, who backed away from me, came back to me, and does he miss me? Okay, so that's a statement. He came back to you, and the question is, does he miss you? I'm just going to tune into it intuitively. I'm not getting that he misses you in like a desperate sort of way or like a romantic way. Like, I feel like maybe that's where your thoughts are. I feel like he came back to you because he like genuinely wants to hang out and be friends, which is a really good spot to be in. So I think my message is like, don't push too hard. Don't chalk it up to something that it's not, maybe. Because, you know, I'm just getting his energy is like very playful, like doesn't care, is totally not like, he's not reading into it like you might be. He's like just genuinely enjoying your company. And so again, that's a great place to be in if you ever do want to form more of a relationship. But maybe not to push it. Let me just pull a card of what else he might be thinking. Oh, he did not come back yet. Gotcha. Okay, maybe I should. So, I have not picked up this deck in so long. So, Ja S, this is decisions, and this is one of the, I think it's one of the bigger cards in the deck. Yeah, this is like this sort of mimics a tarot card deck, and it has the major arcana and the minor arcana. So this is a major arcana card. So when I pull major arcana cards, I like to think of them as very like life lessons. Like, this is more of a life lesson versus like a, you know, what kind of sandwich should I have tomorrow, you know? And so this is decision, Ja. This is release yourself from which holds you back. A need to detox, unnecessary worry based on lack of self-confidence. So I'm getting that, you know, you're worried about him missing you. You know, maybe there's a need or a want there to have him back in your life. And maybe you're worried that the reason why you separated, maybe there was like something that happened there, something that you're embarrassed of. I think that's where that self-confidence comes in. It's like you're worried about, did you do something wrong? You know, does he not like you? You know, I feel like you're putting too much into him and his thoughts of what he thinks about you. And so I think when this card is saying like detox, it's like let go of him, let go of his opinions about you. You know, ask yourself, why am I really asking this question? Why do I really need this person in my life? You know, is it sort of holding you back, you know, fixating on this person, or is it actually something you want right now? And I feel like right now, you know, you might be pursuing this relationship not for bad reasons, but for reasons that you can find elsewhere. As far as him missing you, though, I still think his energy is the same of like carefree, not thinking about it, which I'm sure is not what you want to hear, but that's at least what I'm getting. And know that I preface all my readings with, you know, I could be wrong, I could be not connecting correctly, but I like to say what I get, and I don't like to sugarcoat things or tell you guys what you want to hear, because that's not what a good psychic does. So I hope that helps, Ja. Awesome. So let's do another reading. Is that going to be too complicated? I'm thinking of a shape. If you can think of the shape that I'm thinking of, you get the reading. I'm putting it out there. Use your psychic ability. You're welcome, Ja. Oh, and I should have said too, you guys, if you really want a reading, just like a one question reading, send me a donation through PayPal or Venmo, and I'll make sure you guys get a reading tonight, a card. The shape might be a little bit more abstract. I hope I didn't make it too complicated. Normally what I do is I just sit here and I look at things around this room and I'm like, that. It's too complicated. This shape is often pink. There. It's also an emoji. I feel like that should be a lot. Boo, 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 boo. Christmas margarita. That sounds good. Heart. Ashley. Yay. Ashley, you got it. Ashley, let me know in the comments what your question might be. And I will do a card reading. Yay! Thank you guys for joining me. If you're just now joining me, know that sort of my live videos, towards the beginning of them, I like to do a message kind of for everybody. So if you missed out and you didn't get a personal reading, it's totally okay. There's something in it for everyone. But at the end, I will do another card reading for everyone that's still watching. But yeah, I sort of, tonight I'm just talking about hope. Like, I feel like things just have been very crazy, at least for me. And, you know, with the election coming up and everything, I just felt like I needed to get on and give a talk about hope and positivity. So I gave you some tools towards the beginning of this video on how to do it, as well as meditation. But I like to theme my live reading nights because I don't know. You know, when I do spirit circles or gallery readings, it's crazy how the group energy exists. Like, two people will be sitting next to each other that don't know each other, but they have some crazy similarity going on. And then, like, the whole group, you know, maybe that night's message seems to just be the same between everybody. Maybe it's a message about, you know, get off your butt, do some work, you know, whatever that might be. And so I set that kind of group energy, even in these live readings, even though it's virtual, because I think it helps us bring in the right people and connect. I was hoping to hear from my grandma Helen. She passed away in 2016. Oh, yes. That's all I've been doing this last week is just mediumship. So I feel very connected with that. Helen. Why do I always see them as short? I always see grandmas as short, but I know that's not the case. Let me see if I'm getting her personality right, Helen. I don't know why I'm seeing tennis. I'm just gonna say it. Maybe she was really active. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm also seeing like a short and squatty lady. It's a little, for those of you watching, it's a little weird right now because I just had a family member pass last week. And so he's in spirit, and that has been very challenging for me. And I'm going to release a whole video about it, but I need to sort of process how I'm going to do it first. But it's hard because he's here. He's way loud. She was very productive at 52. LOL. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm sort of picking up her energy. Like, I'm picking active. You know, that might not have been physically active, but I was seeing her cooking. I was seeing her doing tennis. She's showing me her figure. I don't know if she was skinny in this life, but 5'2". Oh, wait, you said 5'2". Maybe she's short. I'm definitely, and so when I do mediumship, I sort of make sure the personality is correct first, because visually, sometimes I'm totally off. And so that's why it's a lot easier for me to connect to their personality. Do you have kids, Ashley? Because I feel like she's wanting to talk about your kids. Lots of cooking and she was slim. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely her. Yes, one. She's coming through and she's wanting me to like send love to your kids, and she's so happy. She loves seeing you with them, and she loves like seeing you play with them, and it's like she's like telling you to like do the things with them that you did with her, like the fun grandma things. I don't know. She's like take him to the zoo and teach him how to cook, then do this, then do that. She's like giving you like this whole list. But I think the reason why she's talking about that, Ashley, is she's wanting to affirm that she's there in those moments. Maybe that's the moments where she feels the closest to you, is when you're like really having fun with your kids, and maybe that's when you can tune into her. And so when she's showing me this, I think it's just it's a message of, hey, this is a time that you can tune into me and know that I'm here. And I think she's telling me that it was one of her favorite roles in life. She's like, even though I was busy and I did all these crazy things, like one of my favorite things to do was be around family. And so when you do that with your child, she loves it. She's there too. She's hanging out with you guys. I think that's her message. I think I just pulled like a card just to see if there was any other message. And the card is like, I'm happy. You know, I'm showering you with like love and abundance, and I'm here to give you advice. I'm here to help you. I don't want to show you the card because it might just be confusing, but just the energy that I'm getting from the card is very like showering love on you, showering happiness, nurture yourself, like take care of yourself is sort of the message. She's very just like mother henny towards you, Ashley. You're welcome, Ashley. Sorry it's so quick. I'd love to always get into it way more. Awesome. Hey, everybody. Let's do like one or two more readings. So how I do my readings is we play a little guessing game. You guess what I'm thinking of, and then you get the reading. So I need to think of something to think of. Okay. I am thinking of a color. If you can guess the color that I'm thinking of, you get the reading. Thanks, Ashley. That was actually pretty challenging for me just because I have that cousin in spirit and it's difficult. Aliyah, you got it. It was blue. Sorry. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Aliyah. Aliyah? Yay! So I'm just gonna say Aliyah. Let me know in the comments what Aliyah. Thank you. Aliyah, let me know in the comments what your question is, and I will pull a card for you. And everyone else watching, stick around. I'm going to do sort of one card towards the end if I don't get to you. And this card is like okay, you all throw your question at me energetically, and I'll pull a card and hopefully get all of your questions answered. Yeah. Aliyah. That's such a pretty name. Aliyah. I might have to steal that. That might be really... That would go well with my son's name. My son's name is Atlas. Atlas and Aliyah. I kind of like it. Should be talking about something else. I think, like I said at the beginning of this live stream, everything is sort of crashed down on me last week with family member passing, elections coming up, pandemic just making me feel like, when's it going to be over? And so I felt like in those moments, I really connect with my spirit guides and use my psychic ability to kind of get through it. And so when I do that, I like to pass along that information because I can't be the only one feeling it. So yeah, Aliyah, let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'll just pull a card for you. What I should do is I should do two of you guys at once. Or like a guessing game for two of you. But yeah, I'm using, I'll link this in the description down below after I'm done, but I'm using the Archangel Power tarot cards, and I love these. These are really good. I don't necessarily believe in angels in a Christian or Catholic sense, but I do believe in high vibrational beings. Like, I can tell the difference between, okay, here's a loved one who's passed, here's a spirit guide, and then there's these beings that, I just call them angels because I think it makes sense to so many people, but they're just so much higher vibration. And so, when I need to hear from those guides and I need cheesy and I need also gentle, I use this deck. So if you're resonating with it, check out the description the comments. I'm going to put it in the comments. And hopefully you can buy a deck for yourself. What did the guy from my past think when I messaged him? Is there any way you could give me like a first name? Because if you've messaged more than one guy, we could get it confused. Focus! Hate this camera. There we go. Okay. Jay. Okay. Hello, Jordan. Welcome. What did the guy from my past think when I messaged him? Oh my gosh, I just shuffled these backwards. Oh, somebody else said something at the top that I forgot. So immediately, Elia, what I'm getting is like an eye roll. Oh, I hate that. I don't want to say that. I could be wrong. I'm going to pull a card in case I'm wrong. I don't know if you like worked with this person maybe. If not, I might be connecting to the wrong person. I think what I'm getting is like, he's just, I don't like his energy because I don't feel like he would help you move forward. Like, I know that's not necessarily your question, but what I'm getting about this person is that like, he's just very selfish. Like he wouldn't help you move forward. Like if you needed help, he wouldn't be there. And just like advancing in any way of your life, whether it's spiritually, financially, emotionally, I just feel like he's not the person that was going to be there and do that. But yeah, I immediately got like eye roll, like, and that's nothing, and when I say that, so many people ask this question, like, what did this person think of me? Like I've tried to talk to them and they haven't talked back to me, which is interesting. That's like such a theme through YouTube. So what I'm getting is like not interested, but you shouldn't be sad about it because he's like not for you. He doesn't treat you how you should be treated, Elia. I hope I'm connecting to the right person. But that's what whoever I'm connecting to, that's what I'm getting. I'm just gonna pull one more card to see for clarification. Yeah, so I pulled Archangel Raphael, and he's sort of like, what is going on in this photo? These photos are so dumb. This is Doreen's Virtues deck, right? Yeah, and Doreen Virtue is like not into metaphysics at all anymore. She's like hardcore Christian, and she like speaks out on how much she hates everything, which is so funny because I'm sure she still probably rakes in money from all of these. But yeah, this is talking about a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. And so, Elia, what I'm getting is like, your guys are trying to like move, they're showing me like moving your head. It's like, don't think about this guy. You're distracted on him. Look over here. There's so many more options. There's so many other people available to you that are so much better. And you deserve somebody who's going to be there for you. And I just feel like this guy was not that case. I just feel like he wouldn't help you with like anything, and that's not the kind of person that you want in your life. And yeah, and I think this also too, Elia, is like your guides don't want you to be unmotivated by this. They want you to know that it's out there. You have this opportunity for you. You just gotta sort of take your mind off of this, if that makes sense. I have a question. Can tarot cards change your future? I'm new to this. No, they can't. Well, yeah, no. I had to think about it for a second. So how I like to think about tarot cards is they are a reflection of whatever your question is right now. And so, trying to think. So when I pull a card, I'm asking about the situation right now. Even if it's in the future, it's whatever the future looks like right now, knowing that tomorrow, you know, you could do something to change that. So pretend you ask, you know, like, how can I ace the job interview tomorrow? And I read a card and the card says, wear purple socks or something like that. And you're going to ace the interview. But then what happens if your dog tomorrow eats your purple socks and you have to wear blue socks? You know, then it's going to change the reading. You know, it doesn't mean you're doomed and your fate is set. You have free will, you have choice. And every time something changes with the future, the reading basically changes. And so that's why I always tell people, like, don't ask me about the future. Or if you do ask me about the future, don't ask me yes or no questions. Don't say, like, will this happen or won't it? Instead, ask, how can I make it happen? And so I hope that answers your question. I just believe everyone has free will. The future can change constantly. And so that's why it's so hard to read the future, is there's so many variables going on. I hope my example made sense. I feel like a better example probably would be that pretend in order to ace that job interview, Joe needed to, and what happens if Joe wakes up and is sick and you have no over that, and instead of Joe interviewing you, you've got Bob. You know, that doesn't mean you can't still ace the interview. It just means things changed a little bit. I don't know if that's a good example. Hopefully it is. But Jordan, welcome. Check out my channel. I have all sorts of videos on how this stuff works. Yes, peach pie. Great explanation. You're welcome, Alaya. Also manifest. That works. Yes, that was like basically the whole front of this video, is I'm talking about positive manifesting. So let's do another reading because I'm feeling into it. I have to think of something. Okay. Oh, this might be hard, but I can give you clues if it gets hard. I'm thinking of a movie. If you can, I'm thinking of a older classic movie. And when I say older, 70s, 80s. If you can think of the movie, and then you get the reading. I'll keep giving clues if people are like way off. Made in the 70s. Classic in the sense that like everybody knows what it is. Sci-fi. Use your psychic ability. If you know, sometimes if you use your psychic ability instead of just like logically trying to think about it, it might just come to you. Nobody's getting it yet. Somebody got close. Star Wars, peach pie. You got it. I'm surrounded by my husband's Star Wars memorabilia here. I don't know if you can see. I'm in his room right now because my old room is basically a nursery now. But those storyboards right there are from Star Trek, and that's actually from his uncle. His uncle used to do storyboards for Star Trek, which is kind of cool. But Star Wars was the answer. Peach pie. Peach pie got it first. At least that's what I can see. Peach pie, let me know in the comments below what question you have. I'm going to take a swig of water. I think after peach pie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all sort of a reading with one card to wrap up the night. What is on my pants? The bad thing about having a baby, spit up everywhere. What's coming towards me in finances? Ooh, nice. And just like we were just talking about, peach pie, know that the future can change. So I might ask it a better way also, but I'll still answer that question. What's coming towards me for finances? I'm going to pull this card for you. Ooh, good stuff. Reliable, clever, educated, balanced. I'm really sticking to that word balanced, which to me, I'm just getting like stability with your finances. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. This says scholarships or the pursuit of education, time to get to work. And the educated part, like even if you're not in school, kind of how I interpret that is like, you know, you're making educated decisions, you know, you're weighing the pros and cons of things, you're putting in the effort, you are, you know, actually like getting work done. Reliable is on this card as well. I don't know if you can see. Focus. My light is so bright. It's like, this is you, Peach Pie, standing in all these books. But I'm just getting that this is like, the feeling that I'm getting from it is very stable, grounded, secure. And just to keep putting in the work and the effort and being clever and educated about your decisions, I think. So how I would have asked that question also would have been, instead of what's coming towards me in regards to finances, maybe how can I manifest better finances? And so I think this card sort of does answer that, but I'll just pull another card to see if we can get more information. Perfect. It's crazy because if you ask the same question just a little bit different, you can just get even more information. So this is 4 of Gabriel, and it says time for celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Again, just confirming that I think you've got good money coming your way. Release yourself from burdensome situations. So I would say if there's anything else you could do, Peach Pie, it would be get rid of the things that aren't working for you. And celebrate your hard work. You know, sometimes we just work and work and work and we don't ever celebrate those successes that we have. And so I think, you know, that's just another action item that you can do to help manifest that finances. Peach Pie, I need some of your energy. Send me some of that money energy. What a good reading. That's what we all want to hear, right? Excuse me. Okay, so let's do one reading for everyone that is still watching, anyone that might be watching replay. What I want to do is have you guys send your questions to me. You can send your questions to me energetically. You can throw it up in the comments if you want. But I'm setting the intention that everyone who's asking me a question, I'm going to pull a card, and hopefully this card will give you some sort of clarity or insight on that question. So send it to me. And sort of what I do with this is I just connect to my guides and I say, hey, no matter who's asking me this, no matter when they're asking me this, give me something that I can give for everyone that will resonate. And so sometimes that intention is enough to make a group reading like this work. Okay, they want me to pull 2 cards. Okay, so for your guys' questions, we just pulled this card. Ooh, this one's cool. I haven't pulled this one ever before. 9 of Michael. And so there's this prince, and this is an owl coming through the window, which I haven't even read it, but to me, my owl guide is my intuition guide. I always use my owl guide whenever I do a reading, and I've been working with that owl guide consistently this last week, so that's kind of cool for me. And it says your work is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. That's like exactly what I was talking about before. That's like what I was talking about at the beginning of this. You know, when you let go of all of the hows and the whats and the whens, you know, and you stop worrying about it and you just ask for help from your guides and you just stay open to receiving whatever they might have to say. Focus the thoughts on the outcome you desire. It's a lot easier than to use your intuition and see those signs and messages come your way. And then this card, you know, I just pulled for somebody else, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the same message. This is, again, a positive new emotional experience. Fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. So maybe, let's see, for whatever your questions are, I'm getting like to go for it. That there's new opportunities on the horizon for you. You know, I know this is romantic relationships, but even if that's not what your question is about, whatever is coming up next, whenever you're going to pay attention, as soon as you pay attention, you know, release all the worries and all the crap and all the junk in your brain and just trust and stay open to your guides, they're going to deliver you such an awesome, fulfilling spiritual experience. It just says a new positive emotional experience. Know that that's coming. And I hope that in whatever way that helps answer your question. So, perfect, Sally. So I was like, that was my question. I just didn't know how to ask. Jordan says, how do you think my new boyfriend would react if I kissed them? So, Jordan, specifically for yours, release the worry, focus on what you want. What is that outcome that you desire? You want a successful kiss with that person, right? You don't want it to go wrong. Feelings of regret, guilt, or worry, let go of that, Jordan, and know that a positive new emotional experience and romantic relationships are coming your way, Jordan. So, Jordan, I'd say go for it. But I'm also getting, sorry, I'm just going to give Jordan this, but Jordan, when you're focusing on how you want it to turn out, the positive of that situation, you're going to be a lot more in tune with if it's the right moment or not. Because if you're focusing on, oh my gosh, what if he like slaps me, or what if he like, you know, throws up or something like that, which it would never happen. But if you're focusing on that, then you might attract that situation, and you don't want to make that happen. So focus on it going well, and you're going to be able to understand and sort of feel out the moment a lot better and make it happen. Sally, I'm doing a lot of work, but I feel stuck. Sally, check out the beginning of this video. That's kind of like the whole theme of tonight. So if you came in tonight, I gave you a lot of like sources at the beginning. I gave you a mantra. I gave you guys a meditation and just some words of encouragement that I got from my guide. So I hope that helps. So yeah, if this was kind of like the last reading for everybody this Thursday, y'all. Jordan, come back, tell me how it went. So yeah, this is kind of that last reading for everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you missed it, again, as soon as I end this, feel free to rewatch it. I did sort of a quick meditation in the middle of this that might actually help if you guys are feeling stuck, if you're feeling hopeless, if you really don't know what steps to take next. I did a guiding light meditation. And it's just like something quick. I'm going to do it like longer form and like set to music and actually upload it as its own video. So then you're not having to sift through my live videos to find it. But I wanted to basically test it out on you guys tonight. I hope it worked out. Is there time for one more? Check out the last reading that I did, because even if you missed it live, I did that reading for everybody, no matter if you're watching replay or not. So maybe you can find some clarity in there. But if you guys want to catch me next time, visit my Facebook page or my website. Under both my events spots, you can see when I'm going to be live next. I think I'm going live like November 18th. I know that's like a really long time from now, but I have a baby, and so I have to like sort of schedule things out, make sure I have time to actually get on here and chat with you guys. But yeah, hopefully I will catch you guys live next time. Please subscribe to my channel if you guys are new here. I've got all sorts of new videos up every week on how to strengthen your psychic ability. And I like to give lots of resources for you guys so that you don't have to go to a psychic to answer these questions. You can answer them for yourselves, and you can connect with your guides and get all the same information that I'm getting. So that's kind of what I'm all about. But yeah, I am also on Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe, and that's all I got. And know that no matter what happens tomorrow, you guys, that how you react is what is more important. You know, every situation is neutral. And, you know, whoever wins the election, no matter, you know, who you wanted or who you didn't want, knowing that if you're asking what is this doing for me rather than to me? That's going to be helpful. And again, when you're just feeling absolutely lost, feel free to use that meditation, that guiding light meditation. All right, I wish I could stay up longer with you guys, but I've got baby to get back to. All right, good night, you guys. Bye.